Rhea Ripley Ultimate Edition. So what wave? This is in a wave, isn't it? It's in the wave with like Hogan, I think. So yeah, whatever wave this is. Does it say it on it? Absolutely no idea. But she is 5'7" or 1.7 meters from Adelaide, South Australia, who does the Riptide and wins women's championships and women's tag team championships. By Survivor Series War Games 2024, Rhea Ripley had been stripped of her women's championship and dealt with a shattered orbital bone thanks to one Liv Morgan. But that was nothing compared to the brutality Ripley unleashed inside of the War Games cage. War Games Rhea Ripley. I am here for all of this. I remember the match. I don't specifically remember it being an amazing match. Oh, hang on. Was that the year that it was it was amazing? I think there was one women's War Games match that just blew my socks off. I can't remember if this was it or not. But let's have a look at this packaging because they have started adding a little bit more zing to some of these packages. So on the bottom it says, "This is my brutality." And on the top it says, "The Eradicator." So this obviously has this unbelievable soft goods piece here. Wow, that is spectacular. All one piece, and no like wires in it or anything like that. I can't wait to see how this looks. So first thing, not that we need more Rhea Ripley devil horn hands, but I want to see some different hands. Give me like an open Rhea hand or just something other than the fist and the C grip. I think Mattel needs to start really thinking about that. If you've got a wrestler that's got unique hands like Rhea's does with the tattoos and everything like that, then I think they need to get a little bit more creative of how to not just keep pumping out the exact same pieces. If you want people to buy the figure, even though they already have the character, you've got to put something else in there to, entice them a little bit. Alright, so I've got Rhea's horn, her mask here. It looks a little bit folded over. I don't know if it's meant to be like that at the back there. It almost looks like one of those horns is facing the wrong way. I blame Little Alex's horn personally, but, that's a story for another time. And here she is in all of her glory. I mean, I'll show a much better photo than that, but I don't mind it. I wasn't a huge fan of that face paint. I like that it's this warlike face paint, and it does look very cool. But it's, it's not even that I'm not a fan of the face paint. I just want a screaming head sculpt with a Rhea Ripley figure. I'm dying for it. I really want to see something that's got a lot more energy in her expression, because the smirk and the slightly toothy smirk, we saw that in the last Ultimate Edition, and this one feels very samey same. She's had two Ultimate Editions that didn't come with a great deal of accessories, which is a little bit worrying. Okay, so here she is. This is the Rhea Ripley Ultimate Edition. I'm a little bit on the fence about this. I didn't realize that the color scheme on this was so brown. Was it that brown at the actual thing? Because this looks more like a bronzy browny kind of color more than it looks like a deep like red or crimson or even a maroon. Yeah, this color is all off. It should be a way more saturated red tone, and this just looks like brown. It just looks like a brown and black figure. Black hair, like, tan colored brownish skin, brown lips, brown things on the suit, brownish kind of tattoos because they've got that more realistic looking tattoo style now. A different shade of brown again for where the fishnets are, black on the boots, and then you've just got a little bit of white on the bra on the front and on the back as well. Have a look at this here. This looks a lot more red. See, this looks a bit more the shade that it should have been, but this shade should be matched on the action figure, and it definitely is not. So just looking at the articulation on this, obviously we've seen these female Ultimate Editions now that come with the butterfly joints. I love seeing that, especially on Rhea. She's got nice big jacked arms. The arms do pop out. Yep, the arms do pop out if you need to do that for some reason. I find with the male Ultimate Editions, I've been using Rowdy Roddy Piper's leather jacket for different photos and stuff like that. So it is a pretty lavish feature to just be able to swap the entire arm of your wrestling figure. That's something that Marvel Legends haven't even really got into. So it's got the pop-down hips. I do like that they've got the straps, the garter straps around her thighs is now molded and painted on. I think that's definitely the way to go moving forward. Instead of having the secondary like loose pieces. The legs on these aren't too stiff or anything like that. No huge complaints with the legs. The ankles actually feel pretty good as well. I know these are a new boot design as well compared to the last one. So let's talk about this waist, because she does have the new waist tech, but mine does this. It's like rare. So I don't know if that means the waist pops out as well. That sounds like it's supposed to happen. So there you go. There's her ball joint in her crotch. Alright, so this is the Tiffany Stratton Ultimate Edition, which, great figure, and is in abundance in retail here as well. So if you just want to treat yourself to a really, really good female wrestling figure, Tiffy Strats is your best bet. I honestly want to get 2 of them so I can make, like, Ultimate Edition Iconics. I'm this close to considering making that purchase. Oh, it's bad. As I look at all of this, I think the pegs might be slightly different sizes though, because when I'm trying to put this on there, you can kind of get it to sit. Actually, no, you can't. Not at all. Doesn't seem to be working much. So I think they are different. They're going to be different sizes. Let me just try the other one. Yeah, so that one pops in, but it's certainly not a great sort of fit. But you know what? I'm loving that Mattel are doing this now, because kit bashing and stuff like that is, you know, I think probably one of the top 3 like appeals of action figures for loose collectors and stuff. So, you know, I'm glad that they're leaning into that and they're giving us more options. I think that is correct for the horns. They do kind of hold into her hair quite well like that. But her eyes are so dark, because it's like, I don't know, it's like this very, she's got like the cat's eyes in there, and then there's like a lot of black paint just kind of smeared right across her eyes, and it gets a little bit lost, I think. We'll quickly point out the elbow on this is pretty loose, actually. Not great to see that. But the legs are okay and the waist is okay, which is, you know, important. Alright, so just popping this robe on her now. Hopefully once this is on, it really sort of brings it to life a little bit more, I hope. Because the brown on brown on brown on brown on black on brown on brown on black, just aesthetically not doing it for me. Okay, so my cloak is a little bit kind of caught around one side, so just keep an eye out when you're doing it to make sure you don't have the cloak sort of folded over too much on one side. I think I've got it. I mean, this might be operator error, but it does sit a little bit strange with these the chains on the back. They do seem to sort of like squish it down. That might be by design, maybe, to give it more of a downwards kind of appearance. Woo! Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna find a place on the shelf for this. Oh wow, that really does bring it to life, doesn't it? I'm still shocked at why the color palette on the bra in the lower section is brown and not red. It looks terrible, but there's just enough of that red in the hood to sort of, and the mask obviously makes a huge difference as well. That looks fantastic, exactly like that. So here is just a comparison between the new Rhea Ultimate and the previous Rhea Ultimate. This one actually has a head swap as well. But in terms of like the actual final appearance of it, wow. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a WWE figure that is enhanced as much by the soft goods accessory as this one is. I still feel like I haven't got this jacket on exactly right, but man, I'm torn on this. I'm really torn. Love Rhea Ripley. She's from my hometown. The design is pretty good. The execution is not that great. The final product is fucking amazing. The arm is a little bit loose. Like there's something I can't really determine exactly how I feel about this, but I feel pretty good, I think. I think I'm more confused than anything about why they chose that shade of brown for the clothing. Like, it's the exact same color as the horns. It's the exact same color. Don't hate this look for the head swap onto the old Rhea Ultimate, to be honest. I think that's... and it's probably just the long hair that really makes it look unique. But I don't mind that. I think it looks good. I'm not sure why, but the hood doesn't seem to want to go completely over her head. Once I did this head swap, I don't know, maybe something's a little bit caught up somewhere. But that's what the old Rhea... I don't know, this would be the elite Rhea face looks like on the new body. Not bad.